All right. Welcome to JCCR Racing, where we are taking on Gran Turismo 7. We're going to be doing sim racing the way it should be, with all the tips and tricks on how to get faster laps, how to survive the chaotic online battle. But we're going to be doing races the way they should be: extreme, actual sim racing. And to do so, we actually have to create a lobby and race YouTubers and subscribers. So whether you're a sim racing YouTuber or you're a subscriber to JCCR Racing, come join in. We're starting this up and we're doing it extreme. That means we're taking on the hardest tracks, the most extreme tracks, the tracks that penalize you for errors, and we're putting damage on extreme. So if you try to play this like an arcade, you're going to be taken out in lap one and putting around for the rest unless you pit and get repaired. It's the way it should be. Now, we can't add huge time penalties for being down the straights pounder, taking people to Pound Town down the straights. Unfortunately, Gran Turismo 7 and most of these sim racers don't penalize and take time off or kick you off the track for, what would be in the real world attempted murder. So this isn't Call of Duty. This isn't Mario Kart. We're going to play this as an actual sim racing, and all sim racing needs to get that way. Now, what we do, we're going to go notify our community that we're starting up. So we're going to create a new room here. And we're going to have it set up. We're going to go to our load settings. Now, I'm wondering what today's main race is, because we should probably take that on. And we are going to be doing Sardinia actually coming up in the World Series. So let's practice Sardinia. Now, of course, the regular extreme races, the two most extreme races in my opinion, Mount Panorama Motor Racing Circuit out in Australia. It's an incredible track, and you got the Nürburgring 24-hour, where a mistake will cost you the race. Tight tracks, elevation changes, especially on Bathurst. Lots of elevation changes. You need to play smart and safe. Let's load this up, and as it loads up, I'm just going to send a little message to the community here. All right, so what does this mean? Number of participants, 16. We'll imitate that intense online racing style. We're going to go for auto start stop. Auto start, no, we're off. We want the grid start here. We're going to have a practice, qualifier, and then race, so that the slowest racers will start first. Slowest first, grid start with false check, because that's the extreme way, and it also gives slower racers a chance to jump ahead of the pack if they're good at drag racing, which is my case. It's one of the rare cases I get a nice chance to jump. So often 4 to 6 spots online, but of course we all as a community mostly said we loved grid start with false check, and it was on for 1 week. And GT7 listened, they heard, they understood that we love it, so they took it away, because, well, that's just how life often works. All right, so we've got this fully set up. We're going to create the room and jump right in. Everything's the way it should be. Hey, Forza Canada, hope to see you today in the actual race here. Let me just get the race on so I don't miss any of the live chat here. Hey, Super Doofus, good morning, buddy. Come and join the races, folks. Fantastic. Thank you, Super Doofus. Now, when you do get in, folks, hit the little check mark saying you are ready to race. And I'm going to give a quick little rundown of the race as we wait for people to join up. Don't forget, when you join the race or any race, check the tire requirements. Take the best tires you can versus the number of laps, how many pit stops. Think all of that through. Car settings here. Yes, we are on softs, and we are going to practice the 911 because we do have our race today, the World Series Manufacturers race. I'd love it if you guys would catch that. So don't forget to turn subscribe, turn bell notifications on, and punt that thumbs up button. Hit that like button. Edward E, thanks for making it. Forza Canada, thank you so much. As Super Doofus often throws out the race long and prosper. Good morning, Philness GT. We gave you an extra 10 minutes to take with the kids as you get up and get that coffee in ya. Thank you very much, Philness. And don't forget, folks, Super Doofus and Philness GT have excellent YouTube channels on sim racing, so catch it, folks. Let's support our friends. So while people come in, we're just going to practice one lap. We'll give everyone a lap to come in here. Then we'll, anyone who's already in gets to practice up. Now, when you're online, here's a little trick. Before you get on to your qualifying lap for, these World Series, check how you want the car set up. It's a great time for me to practice traction control 1 to get faster. It's with friends. It's not going to affect my safety rating or my driver speed rating, my league. No worries, Philness GT. Thank you very much for letting us know. So if you don't know a track, here's some basic tricks. Have your track map on. If you're online and you do know the trick, well, then you're better off with radar. So just as we try to remember this track here, coming out of the pits, always make sure you don't cross that line. That's the little solid white line that was there. Awfully short on this track, but on some tracks, it's very long and easy to go off of. Now, a little trick when you get online, lap 1, most cars are going to be going, and we've always seen this, lap 1, people are going a lot slower than their fastest lap, and the first 3-4 turns, they're going to take really slow. They're nervous about the tires. It's a good chance to jump 3-4 positions, but also a good chance to do what I just did right there. And that's why they're going slow. But if you just did a practice 2-3 laps, you don't have to take it at 100%, but if you take it at 95% of what you can do, you will pass people and jump up, because often when we get in the C League now, we're almost always the slowest or one of the slowest lap times, and we're, well, like last night, showing you how to go from 14th to 7th, and not 14th to 7th because we're a much better, faster driver and just didn't do a qualifying lap, but 14th to 7th, when we are the slowest lap time, or second slowest, third slowest lap time on the track. So we cover all those tips and tricks. So not doing the proper racecraft here. We're going in too hot, so we're missing the apex. So let's cover what proper racecraft is gonna look like. One, it really helps having these markers on. Full throttle through the last turn at Sardinia is the key, the trick. So let's cover some 5 basic tips to racecraft. I'd say 1, turn the markers on and brake to the marker. And when you get to the marker, that's when you should be turning in and able to make, usually 90-95% of the time, you need to make the apex and use the whole track. So using the whole track means we're starting from the complete outside about 90-95% of the time. Brake to the marker, make sure you can make it to the apex, and at the marker in the apex. So let's cover these markers and what they mean. So we got the outside marker here. We're gonna drive to it, get most of our braking in. The last 10% of braking is on the way to the apex. So, as I was saying, you're gonna wanna be going from the outside, and once you're on that outside marker, that's where you need to turn in. If you don't have markers on, often you'll see tire marks on the track to indicate. So we're watching our little map here as if we didn't know the track at all. Brake to the indicator, partial braking, quarter to max, half braking to the apex, and once you get to that inner apex marker, that's where you start adding throttle, especially if you made it to the apex. And that will get your lap times faster and faster and have you competing in leagues that, well, like myself, I just don't belong in. So brake to the marker, and we blew that one through. We did that one really hot. So we'll wait for 1 or 2 more cars to get in here. And we get to see, we're testing out tires and 2 laps. So this 4 or 5 lap race, the tires will start to get a little cooked. That's fine, that's actually kind of good. So we turn in at the marker, and then at the inside marker, we start adding gas. And if you have traction control at 0 or 1, you have to ease into the throttle. If you're at traction control 2, 3 or higher, then you just stomp on that pedal. So it's all about practicing, because having your traction control lower is good, because as you take off from corners, your car is going to accelerate more, because, well, traction control, what does it do? It ensures that the tires can't squeal, spin. That means also sometimes, often, it's going to be cutting power to those tires when you could just be squeaking out a little bit of extra speed. Good morning, Incognito. I hope to see you here in the race. Hope you can make it. So check your markers so you know your braking distances. So there, finally watch the markers, and that's why you made it through there without any incident whatsoever. We are doing Sardinia today, and we'll do a few others. We'll probably hit to Bathurst. Thank you very much, folks, for coming in and dropping, you know, kind messages here. Coming from Duval. So a little trickier without the traction control, but this is a great race, or with traction control on 1. This is a great race to practice having your traction control on a lower setting. Hey, Super Doofus, right ahead of us. Good to see you on the track, buddy. Yeah, we're doing lobbies incognito. Super Doofus and I driving really cleanly together, and that's what online racing should be about. So being fast is often about not how fast you get into the turn, but how fast you get out of the turn. There's that practicing with a lower traction control than usual. So I think we're going to get this race started. I'm just going to exit here, make sure everyone has set in. Oh, wow, we are actually 14. We're full. We're 16. Okay, that's not everyone who's on the track. So host menu, let's start the qualifier. Incognito, yes, the McLaren F1 is fantastic. Good drop. I love it when people chat cars in the live stream. All right, here we go with the qualifier. We're going to race traction control on 2 and put 1 to the rear. Actually, this is a track where you can do a lot of braking, trail braking. That means you do some braking in the straightaway when you're straight, but once you start to turn the steering wheel, you brake into the apex, but only on like quarter, max half braking. So I usually like 1 or 2. I suggest you try it out, folks. If you haven't already, we're going to throw radar on. And we're going to jump in. Often, it's well worth starting either first or last with your qualifier, so you don't get into any fender benders. Oscar Mike, thank you very much. Not the fastest way around those turns, driving like I didn't warm up or practice at all. Now the only thing with starting last is if you don't know the track, you don't have anyone you can just follow and imitate, so you'll probably have a slower qualifier. And yeah, a lot of A+ drivers, YouTubers are gonna say, you know, you gotta drop that traction control down to 0. It's the way to be faster, and it's absolutely the needed way to compete in Class A, Class B, and also probably have, you know, a ton of trail braking. And a ton of trail braking means you play with your brake balance. You might be running a 4 or a 5 on the brake balance, and you're doing so much trail braking. Those are two surefire ways to crash when you're actually an E, D, or C driver. So I recommend absolutely, if being on traction control 0 means probably at least once per race you're going to spin out, you're never going to make that time off with ever so slightly faster turns. So I'd say keep the traction control on 1 or 2 and bring it down when you're comfortable. Big trail braking corner right there. Woo. And did the first turn so quickly, went through it so quick that my speed and everything was off for the second section of that turn. There, I got hit. That's my fault. I was going too slow. Car behind us is a lot faster, so we'll let him go by. Good racing piece again. Wonderful livery, awesome colors. Now we've got a good driver to follow behind, I believe so. Incognito, I honestly believe that you are right that I'd be better in another view, but I don't think other views should exist if it's a game's gonna call itself a sim racer. This is the view you get if you're racing a car or driving a car in the real world. And that's just the way it should be. We shouldn't have all these added advantages of seeing a lot more than what you can see, or as I like to call it, the I'm sitting on the hood view, or I'm Superman. Hey, good job, Sebastien. Good job there. Yes, you did overtake me. Good work, buddy. I'm not 13 years old. I'm much older, and most of my time is spent doing with travel to and from work. 12 hours a day going to and from work. So I usually play. I get about an hour in a day for the last 3 months, and I've started 3 months ago doing online races. So my online racing experience is 3 months, and my overall racing experience, well, is about 3 extra weeks more than that. Before that, the year before, I did a little bit of racing. Hey, Luis Sosa, how are you? And I'm here to show everybody that sim racing is fun. It's a good amount of a mix of adrenaline, discipline, persistence. It'll teach you how to attain your goals in life. So kind of like doing karate or judo. I think this is a disciplined sport, and the more disciplined and persistent you are, the better and faster you learn and increase. So I started 3 months ago in the E class, and I'm now in the C class. So moving ahead quite fast by doing what you need to do when you're trying to achieve any goal, whether it's a business goal for starting a business or working for someone else, and you've got, you know, yeah, same here, Sebastian. Been doing sim racing on YouTube for about 4 months as well. So anytime you're trying to achieve a goal, you really got to kind of watch the strategies of the pros, figure out how those strategies can be turned into doable actions for yourself, which sometimes that means not just imitating them, but breaking it down. So for example, YouTube, A+ drivers, the real pros are going to say, you know, drive traction control on 0. And great, that's fantastic if you're already an A or B driver. So I have to figure out how's this goal manageable to me? To be as fast as I can, they're saying go straight to 0 and drive manual. Well, I got this sim racer a little over a year ago. I drove for 2 months, 1 or 2 months. My daughter was born, didn't drive for a year. So what does that mean for me? Well, that means I had to start up, and yeah, I had to drive automatic for a while. And I had to have traction control on 5. But I saw the big goal, which was to get down to as low of a traction control as I can drive without having a lot of crashes and spinouts. So slowly made my way down. So started at traction control 5 with automatic, then moved to manual because you can spin yourself out because you're, you know, downshifting too much or you're not in the right gear. So practiced manual, then brought traction control down slowly all the way to traction control 1. So I can drive traction control 1. I practice it from time to time. So I'm in that phase of being between 2 and 1. I try between the 2, check out the results, want to slowly get comfortable with traction control 1. Some tracks are a lot harder for traction control 1, meaning I kick it up to traction control 2. And life's like that. You got to figure out, what are the pros doing? What are their strategies? How can I take, and you know, pros will often have, let's say, 10 or 14 or 15 strategies to get where they are. Well, you take one strategy at a time and you break it up, and just trying to learn one of those strategies or one of those concepts, just like if you're trying to do advanced physics, you don't jump into advanced mathematics or advanced physics. You take it, or, you know, if you're a painter, you don't try to paint an incredibly complex painting at first. You try to learn little skills one at a time, and you try to master those little skills one at a time. Just like if you're learning history, you don't try to learn all of history in a day. You break it up into segments. So watch the pros, and that's what I do. I've watched the pros, and I go, okay, as originally an E driver and now a C driver over 3 months, what am I doing? Well, I'm just breaking down those strategies, and I'm like, how can I make this manageable by someone who isn't already an incredible driver? So that's how I see breaking up any goal. You can accomplish most everything in life. You just have to figure, is working towards this goal worth it? Is, you know, how are you going to get there? Take the big goal or the dream, break it up, segment it, and then just have discipline and persistence. So whether you're trying to learn karate or piano, well, if you're learning piano, you want to be playing every day. Even if it means you're only playing for 10 minutes, you're better off playing the piano 10 minutes every day for a total of 70 minutes over the week than to just say, okay, well, Saturday I'm going to put in a full hour and then not touch anything for the entire week. You can achieve incredible things in life by putting 10, 15, or 30 minutes into it per week. Yes, Philness GT, the start. The start should start on its... Oh, I'm sorry, right here. We'll start the race. Thank you, Philness GT. Thanks for helping us out here. Folks, check out Luis Sosa's YouTube channel, Luis Sosa. You can drop your link right here on the channel. Silver Fox, hope to see you in the next race, buddy. All right, yes, slowest laps are starting first, and we got false check on. So rev out your motor and let go of the pedal. Oh, Forza Canada, someone took your spot in the race. Well, We'll try to figure out who's not a subscriber and have them replaced, or maybe the dirtiest racer will be booted and we'll have you take that spot. Oh, we got pushed off the track. And there's Anonymous GT again. All right, so I guess we'll be down in 13th now, no worries. And that's why we have the radar on. It's to try to watch the radar, but these things happen. Oh, it is Spa, that's right, fantastic. So Spa Racing. I look forward to getting into Spa today. Rather quite like that race. Haven't raced it in a few weeks, but definitely a race that I like. Up to Grandma's house, the little white house up the hill. So important you get that section down just right. Little too hot there. So definitely if you're getting pushed around a lot on the track, my tip is maybe don't use the 458 Italia or the 911. Go for something big and bulky that's hard to push around, and the examples of that would be the BMW, the Mercedes AMG, the Nissan GTR. Those are great cars for when people try to push you around. They'll often bounce off and ruin their own day trying to attack you. Yeah, won't speed through there. And just by going in slow, we can get back on the pedal earlier, and it's all about having that speed for the upcoming straightaways after the turns. So much better. It doesn't feel natural. Your brain tells you to go in fast, and that will make fast laps. But the trick is to go in slow, to go in as fast as you can while still catching the apex, because when you catch the apex, well, that apex marker, which is located up usually about the middle of the turn, you can, okay, Gruntle with a 2-second, oh, letting me pass. So driving, oh, no, letting the car that he knocked off. So good, respectful driving there, and that's the way racing should be. Ha! I just read the name of the car we passed. That made me kind of laugh. Oh, GTR 18, solid choice. Well, thank you for putting in your input. Love it when people are talking cars and benefits, pros and cons to different cars in the chat. So you can see we went in a little too hot there, and that means he had carried a much higher speed through. Oh my goodness, again we get hit. It held it together, but the 911 is a bit of a puntable car. Alright, let's just employ basic racecraft here. We'll go wide on the track, brake, most of the braking done and then to the marker, tiny bit of braking as we move towards the apex, and then on that inside apex, the middle of the apex, where the marker is located, if you got markers on, that's where we add the throttle. Philness, there's my buddy. Oh! Comical Philness. You knew we were both going to finish in the same position anyways, so why not give one of those? See, that's straightaway hitting that I certainly don't mind. During the race or in the early on laps, not so fun. All right. So great job, Jazz. You got first place with the Mercedes AMG. I think that's a fantastic car. We were just talking about it. Great for not getting punted off the track. Very solid ride. So we came up from last and finished half decently there. So let's just give a shout out here to Jazz in first place with a 141.9. Fantastic lap time. We've got Duval, great work there, friend. And Jaja Boost in the Supra, great work as well. Followed by P. Seguin, MGB, Ken, and JCCR Filmis. Great work, folks. Now, let me know in the comments. Oh, Gruntle, thank you very much for saying my bad. Very, very nice of you. And folks, let us know. Do you want to hit up this race again, or do we go into here? We can change event settings, and we can jump into our Bathurst race, which we often do because it is extreme. We're practicing Sardinia because it's coming up on Wednesday, if I recall correctly. We'll go right here to load settings, and we got Mount Panorama over on Bathurst. And we'll just double check here. 4 laps should be great. We've got slowest first, grid. Tires, real. Time limit for warm up, we got to put that at 5. And there we go. We're ready to go. Just make sure we got false start on. There we go. Slowest first. Philness GT, we are going to get better at this track. Fish track is what you call it. Very nice. Now I'm going to continue to drive the Porsche because we're going to be doing Spa in the Porsche here. Monty Swingwell asking for light damage. I'd say we just need to boot anyone that is dangerous driver. So if you see anyone doing any major deliberate punts or taking you to Pound Town on the straightaway, let me know in the live chat comments, because not all of these are subscribers, and probably the ones that are pounding around the track are probably our non-subscribers. So rat them out. And don't worry, snitches won't get stitches on this channel. They'll just be taken off and probably replaced with one of our subscribers. And if you're a subscriber waiting to get in, let me know in the comments section. I can do a quick little booting. Just wait for that to come in. Philness GT saying another track, please. Very fine. Very fine. Good idea. So, not seeing anyone saying that there are any of the subscribers in the chat saying, haha. Yeah, it's to, absolutely. It is to imitate the real thing. And actually, is there still space? Yeah, there's still space. We got a 13th and a 14th spot available. And let's start this. Yes, Philness, that is a good good idea, because I think its symbol is the fish anywho. And I think we can actually start up the qualifier. Oh yes, Forza Canada making it in. Fantastic. So we'll wait for Forza Canada to hit that check mark. Louise, you just need to, if you have any of the regular subscribers in your friend list, this race should pop up, but you can add me. It's bear_cuddles for you, capital B and a capital C, to bear, BEAR _cuddles, CUDDLES for you. So bear_cuddles for you, capital B, capital C. You add me to your friend list, and then you'll more easily find the JCCR Racing lobby. So we're in lobbies right now, and there's still a spot. We'll do 1 lap of practice, and then we'll get to the race, and we'll probably nonetheless have a 3rd race today. So if you missed this one, Louise, you'll... Oh, Sosa too making it in. Right on. Fantastic, folks. Don't forget, you can check out, I believe Sosa has a YouTube channel, if I recall correctly. I try to subscribe to everyone who's subscribed to me, but time goes by. My memory isn't always the best. You can always drop your link on my channel right here, folks. I'm here to support the friends. This is meant to be a friends and family affair. We want to keep it family friendly, and the goal on this channel is to learn and grow together. I started at the E. I'm making it to the C. The dream is making it to the A, and I want to show everyone how, by employing certain strategies, certain actions, you can take on any goal, including sim racing, and get it done. You know, as they say, get her done. So, a little tip before you join any race for your qualifier: check out where you're at. Modify the car as need be. Now, I don't want to go to like 2 or 3. This isn't a huge trail braking race other than near the end of the lap. It's tight, and it's all about, you know, how fast can you be braking. And I also want traction control on 2, because this is an incredibly easy race to fishtail on. It's very intense. It's a toughie. It's a great race. And if you don't know the race, don't be shy, folks. Keep that map on. You don't have to race with radar. People are going to hit you online anyways. Radar just lets you know if you should be playing defensively or not. But the first thing is to survive the track. So unless you're a pro, unless you know the track off by heart, you're better off with the track than the radar. And I know every pro is going to say, drive with radar. You have to drive on radar. And that's true for them. And for people like them, the B and A drivers that have the tracks known by heart, they know the brake points, they know their acceleration points, then yes, absolutely deal with the last factor, other cars. So, great track to practice to force you to use racecraft, the basic racing skills. So here, brake 2. Most of your braking done to the marker, get to the inside marker, start accelerating. And of course, better going slow and catch the apex than to go in fast and miss the apex. You go in fast, you feel like you're driving faster, but you're going to be a lot slower, because it's all about having that speed coming sooner, coming out of the turn, so you can have more speed by the end of that straightaway. Makes a huge difference on time. That's a tricky section. If you go in too tight, you will be fighting the steering wheel to stay under control. So go wide, cut in, a little bit of trail braking, but at a certain point, if you hold the brakes all the way through the turn, you're just going to go straight into the wall or off the track. Incognito, I understand. I think you're saying you get aggravated online chaotic racing, and so do I. And it's just about adapting and sticking through it, because online also means high risk, high reward. The excitement and adrenaline are higher, and the wins are worth more. They feel better than when you win against the computer. Mind you, playing those 4 or 5 hot chili pepper races, still a win is still feels pretty good. All right, so gonna get started. Take the car off the track for anyone else who's still practicing. We will start the qualifier. Oh, are we gonna get punted? Oh, we didn't get punted. Filling this GT. Oh, is the gentleman. Oh, is one of our mates there, part of the JCCR racing crew. So we have a chance maybe to go out first here, and if so, we want to be on the gas pretty quick. Yeah, we're going to go out first. Get that in line, have the track on. Now, having too big of a screen is also a bit of a penalty, because as you can see, if I want to watch the map on a track I don't know, I have to take my eyes completely off the track, and you'll see it because the camera is set up for if my eyes are off the track. So if you can see my eyes, I can no longer see the track, and that should not be the case. So this screen is about a foot. At the distance I'm at, I'd say it's a good foot too big. I'd be much better off with a 40 inch, max 50. So be aware of your screen size and what that will do for performance. You should be able to see the corners of your screen from the peripheral view, the side view, as you stare down the middle of the screen. Holding on for dear life. There we go, Finless making it by nice and safely. Great job, great looking car there. Ooh, we got a little tap there. Tapped us into the wall. Yeah, VR mode would be fantastic. VR mode in cockpit, because you can still look left and right and see what cars are to the left and right of you. Might be a little weird watching a guy on YouTube and you can't see his face, but it would provide an advantage and it would make for some exciting racing for me. Maybe just a little less fun for the viewers, is how I see it. And that's why I haven't gone VR yet, and it's the cost. It might be part of the equipment that we get when we make it over 1,000 subscribers and will be actually monetized. And we might also drop this race sim for the weather while the weather permits in the garage and have a Toyota MR2 1991 JDM, a right-hand drive, in the background, as well as a Shelby GT350, a 2017. A wonderful 526 horsepower flat plane crank V8, meaning, yeah, the red line starts at 8,250 RPM on a V8. It's one of the best sounding engines in the world. And who else has an engine like that? The Ferrari 458, the Ferrari Italia 458. And what other car can you get that in for cheap? Well, sometimes you can come across, starting at about $15,000, a Maserati 4000 GT. 2000 GT or 4000 GT? The Maserati GT, about roughly like a 2006 model. It's got a flat plane crank V8 Ferrari engine in it. Do expect expensive repairs, do expect really expensive maintenance, and not always the easiest to find parts. Oh, we're doing it again. Oh, we survived. The car behind us went off like we did last lap. So here with the hills, you got to really time your braking. You cannot be braking when you got your steering wheel turned in that section. Little crash behind us. Oh, we made a mistake here. And we recovered. Oh, that was more. Oh, geez, sorry, folks. We got caught up in the wall. I thought we'd just trade a little paint and kind of slide off the wall, but no, we got really caught up there. That was, I'm sorry to the trouble I caused the cars behind me. You had no chance of stopping in time. So here, we'll start braking at the 100, or just before. Get into second, make it to the apex, and look how much sooner we're back on the accelerator compared to last lap. Last lap, we were completely through the turn before we could actually accelerate at the 100. Actually, we'll do that after, between the 100 and the 25, so the invisible 75. All right, so this is the fast lap. This has got to be our perfected lap, because so far our other laps are unbelievably slow. So let's nail this one as we follow De Ruler. This British racer seems to be quite good, and I think he's a good car to try to follow and imitate. You do not want to be following and imitating a car that's not a good driver. So size up your competition. The car in front of you can make you a lot faster or a lot slower. They can teach you a lot or have you create really bad habits. And that's why it's the main goal in online racing is get into the S class. That's your safety rating. Get into the S class as soon as possible. All right, so I don't think we'll get to actually finish this race. need to turn on the added time after race finish above 1 minute. Sometimes you gotta let a car pass, you know, if they're going a lot faster than you, it's just silly to throw yourself in front of them, because in the real world, both cars would be wrecked and out of the race. A little braking here, you gotta brake right before you start turning, and then you turn, and then you brake right after having turned to make the time, get your speed just right for that last turn. Cheers, folks. Super Doofus, love the term. Don't forget to bump draft the like button. That would be really appreciated, folks. All right. Oh, boosted at 5.0. Thank you so much. Yeah, I've got someone who really wants it, and their offer's not bad. It's like 5,000. No, it's actually 6,000 underneath my asking price, but it's still not a horrible offer. But I like the GT too much, and both 911 is confirmed to be sold. I'm just waiting on the money. And the other 911, the guy is going to come check it out next weekend, and is, oh, buddy, go, 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 is very interested. So we would have jumped ahead probably into first there, but the car in front of us was really off the marker, and we didn't want to start a crash. Damage is on extreme, so it would have slowed us down for the rest of the race, and that's how it should be. Online racing should be about as sim racing, as realistic as possible. And in the real world, if you do something completely donkey-like, if you're a complete Donkey Kong, and you're punting people all around the track, you wreck your car and theirs, and at least your car should be out of order, or just giving you much slower laps, lap after lap, because, well, you know, you've lost your front bumper and you're no longer, the aerodynamics are way off, so you should be very much limited on the straightaways. Your acceleration, high-speed acceleration should be off. Having your back bumper flap around all over the place until it rips off should slow you down. There we go, we braked on all the straight sections, the very short straight sections. Then we could brake here if need be. On the straight section, a tiny bit of trail braking there is possible, but you have to be like quarter brake in. Brake pedal in just a quarter, and actually have your pedals adjusted so that it actually works out to apply only a quarter of the brake. Because if you got your pedals adjusted incorrectly, you have your personal brake pedal down there in at a quarter, but it'll brake at half or 3/4, even full. It's all in your adjustments. Oh, we're gonna get punted off the track. That is not cool. And I think I came back and accidentally got the car that took us off the track, and that was actually accidental. So we've been taken out of the race and kind of took ourselves out of the race too, getting back onto that track. But that wouldn't happen had we not been punted off the track. So that's not how racing should be. That's how online racing is. It's frustrating. People deliberately punt. That was probably an accidental punt. It wasn't that hard of a hit, so feels like they were probably on the brakes but just couldn't slow down in time. And that will happen anytime if you're in the A League, if it happens, it's probably because they're doing it deliberately. Yeah, Super Doofus, I hear you. I also need to fix my damage, but I'm just going to finish the race this way. Try to adapt to the car shaking and vibrating. Feel it right through the steering wheel. See, the damage and the pits are especially fun when you're racing, let's say, 15 or 20 laps, because then you actually have time and you get a reward for going in and pitting, because you'll make up the time from lost time from being damaged as long as someone doesn't immediately hit you again, or you drive yourself into the wall, which at Bathurst is very doable. There we go. That's how you do that section of turns. That was half decent. And it's all, and I say it was half decent because we were braking before the turn, making it to the apex, and then powering off the apex. So this section here, braking just before the 100, trail brake, down to second, to the apex, get back on the throttle. And that's one of my, I find, for me, it's become one of the easiest and most satisfying sections. So when I get punted off, I'm like, I didn't get to do that section that feels oh so good going through. All right, let's speed down the straightaway. Try to catch up to the pack. We did this last race. We were in last and we finished in, I don't know, 8th or something. We jumped up a whole lot of positions. Just gotta be persistent. Don't rage quit. Don't cry quit when you're online. Yes, it's gonna be frustrating, but extreme frustration will also come with extreme gratification. You'll be oh so happy and you'll feel also great when you get in a pole position. So brake to the apex here. Brake to the marker and then move into the apex. Not too close though, because there's an elevation change for the drainage there that will spin you out, kind of like on Grand Highway in the Tunnel 1. Or Tunnel 2 actually, there's 3 tunnels on the track. Just Tunnel 1's so short I forget about it often. Looking forward to Bathurst making it into a regular weekly race, or I'd really like to see it as part of the World Cup races. I think it is very much a World Cup worthy track. Very technical, very extreme, and not excessively long the way Nürburgring is. Nürburgring, the thing is that all the cars end up very spaced out apart after, you know, a 5th or a 6th of a lap. So you're 20% into the race and everyone's spread out. Good luck catching up unless someone spins out. Whereas here, so much can happen on these turns. Mind you, yes, this is a race that's frustrating for this turn right here because people will punt you. There's a lot of places where you can get punted off the track. Carry some speed through there, back on the throttle. Fastest lap being a 2:05. And we're going to be 7-8 seconds off the fastest lap because that 2:05 is very quick. But we can't expect to have our best times on these laps. Our car is very damaged, front, back, front left wheel. But we can expect to work on the racecraft, not give up. Don't give up on your... don't give up. You got to put the ego aside and accept that life, if you want to achieve anything worth achieving, you got to be willing to run into some obstacles, some failures. Failures are just opportunities to learn. They're lessons in disguise. You like Transformers? Well, you should like lessons in disguise. About as close as you can get to that wall without eating cement. Love how the 911's first gear is very usable. To slow off the line, unlike the Ferrari 458. So there we started to slide out, so we upshifted and let go of the throttle. gaining us back control, something you can't do in automatic, and in automatic you're not going to get a whole lot of engine braking out of the vehicle either. So my big number one, if you're starting off in the E-Class, is start practicing in manual. It's really worth it. Ooh, and I was reading, don't text and drive, that'll get you in accidents. Here I was reading off to the side. They really don't show those little messages on the left for very long. So folks, if you want to write to me, get on the channel, JCCR Racing, find it on YouTube, and drop the messages in the live, because then I can come and check out the messages and see, okay, what's going on. So SMB boosted 5.0. SMB, is your 5.0 boosted? That is sick. And the 5.0 Coyote engine, not the old 5-liter from Ford. People don't think there's a difference. They just see 5-liter and, oh, it's a Ford 5-liter. And the new one must be reliable. And that was a horrible assumption made back in 2011 when the engine came out. But it did turn out to be not just very reliable. The Coyote 5-liter is turning into the world's best, factory engine that you can modify a lot. So we got a clean race bonus. A little bit of extra money there. Super Doofus, I also did not do so well, my friend. So yeah, we want to keep that incredible 5.2 liter engine. It's legally, it can make incredible sound legally without picking up tickets. Got a ticket in my Toyota MR2, which makes about a fourth as much sound as the Shelby GT350, the 2017, and it's like, oh, now I have to spend money. I'll have to spend anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 adding in more, quieter mufflers and whatnot. It's just annoying nonsense. So it's nice having a stock car that out of the box is just incredible. All right, so let's yeah, so much damage. Change event settings. Event settings here, we don't need a qualifier. This, when we do, it should be at, 80 seconds. And here, this could actually be at 3 minutes. If this is up, everyone will have a chance. I don't know what Ken is saying. I'll have to check that out. If you know, Philness, let me know. All right. Okay, so right up here we can go to practice and then straight into the race. Oops, here we go. We'll change the settings for this time here because we've already kind of see where everyone ends up anyways. All right, so what was then? Oh, okay. Philness, Ken is saying the race is being ruined by the dégâts, the damage. Yes, well, that kind of is the way racing should be. People should be forced to drive safe and smart. So yes, let's go practice Spa here. We'll do the full course. And we will do, I think 4 laps will be just perfect. Oh, Sosa saying, sorry if I hit you, not on purpose. Fantastic, like to see that. It's Danny saying, good game, all and good, clean racing. Great job. Gas Monkey, yeah, like Gas Monkey Garage, very cool. Oh, and a B rating, fantastic. Good driving there, mate. A good mix of B, a few D racers here. Really nice mix of everyone. And what's great is if you're, a B, C, or D racer and you're behind an A, just try to copy their drive style. They've got the track down. Make sure you've got your soft tires on, folks. Make sure you hit this green marker saying you're in and ready to race. And I will set up Philness. Great job with the A rating there. Great job, mate. Sosa, very good. It's great to see C racers and D racers doing YouTube because it's going to help people who are E and D racers. It shows you just a little bit better. And it's just like, hey, just a little bit better here. Here's like your next step or your next 2 or 3 steps to getting to be a faster racer. Now, where can we set up the poll here? Host menu, start race, change racing, events. Well, I guess we'll just have to, we go straight, that's right, we go straight into racing on a grid start. So everyone's in, I believe. Here we go. It's we're about to get it on, get to the racing. Let's hit the track. This will be our practice for today's tournament. The last race of the day, so don't go anywhere. We're about to wrap things up with just 4 laps of racing left. Let us know what cars you're using in the comments. Don't forget to punt that like button. Put the pedal to the metal on that like button. If you haven't already subscribed, and turn bell notifications on so you'll have the choice to watch or not. Lots of trail braking on this track, so first gear is slow on the Porsche 911 taking off. Unlike the Ferrari, it'll take off really quick. Turn 1, you can get a lot done in turn 1 if you get that just right, like we just did. I think we just jumped ahead of like what, six racers or so. Here, drive quite to the extreme. You can hold the pedal down the whole way if you got it just right, and you need to if you're in C lobby or higher online. It's going to be so important. If you're in D or E and you get that first turn right, you're going to fly ahead of people or into people, one of the two. Oh, we all made the mistake. Well, we're doing it now instead of online, so that's good. Practice here and make the error with friends. That's a lot of trail braking required here. So on 2, my braking overall is just ever so slightly slower, but I can really brake in towards the apex. So advantage, disadvantage. Oh, I made a big mistake there. Sorry to the car behind me. That was erratic driving on my part. I'm letting you by, Philness. I'm gonna bump draft here, or draft. Not getting so much bumping in with this gap on us. All right, so we gotta fly through this corner. Get to the bottom here, ease off the throttle and power through, and we close the gap because everyone braked through there. Woo-wee! Back into our 4th position. Trail braking got us through there quite nicely. Oh, Pisa gang, he is fast, so let's learn everything we can from him. Let's try to imitate, but be thinking enough to know if he's doing something as an error. So full throttle through there. Up Grandma's house, full throttle. We are in 4th, and we did not start in, 4th, so we earned this position. We jumped ahead. Like I've said before, lap 1, if you're a slower racer, lap 1's going to be your chance to jump ahead, as people generally take the first 3 to 5 corners real slow. Despite being really fast drivers, they usually play it safe or completely crash out by going way too fast. There, you got to be able to get the apex so you can be back on the throttle nice and early. Same thing with there. Good pass by that vehicle, the 911. Livery almost threw me off, thinking it was another vehicle altogether with all those stripes. Let's try to hold on to 5th, see if we can get a little, close this gap on this section right here. You go wide. Almost pedaled to the metal through there. Probably could have gotten away with it, but eased up ever so slightly just to play it safe. Not go off the track and get a time penalty. So that'll get us back 4th position if we just stick to them. Wide track here, so we can actually take... I'm happy to be on the inside here. Oh, Sosa, awesome to have you in the race. Glad you're here, buddy. Honors all, oh mine. Oh, that will cost us. The ruler taking us off the track. No, in French, someone just said, do the sort of, you're already driving start saying it's better. No, I don't agree. It's better to have us starting up the way it should be, needing to avoid each other and drive smart. Oh, so much more speed through there. When you catch the apex, we're able to get on the throttle and start picking up speed for the straightaway here. Power through here, pedal to the metal all the way through. Well, Jaja Boost, it's Johnny. Here I come. I will avoid you because I know you're going to be put back. There you go. Unghosted. Come on, let's drive through, buddy. Let's keep foot on the pedal, foot on the pedal. I let go of the throttle just because I was worried he's going to brake. I wanted the distance between us so that if he did brake, I could avoid the accident. Oh. Oops, sorry, friend. Sorry, gas monkey. So there we go, getting on the gas so much earlier than if we would not have been all over that apex. I had to go in slow to come out fast. Now there, if you catch too much of that, it's gonna send you off track from the elevation change. So be careful. That's not that first apex going up Grandma's Hill. Sorry, that first apex. Well, the first inside apex. You got to be careful. If you take it too hard, you will be penalized. I've got to get a lot faster in that section for today's competition. All right, let's race it down. That's actually all trail braking because of the high speed we can take that at. So we almost need to not brake before the straightaway, I would say. On the straightaway section, we can just trail brake it all. There we go, finally getting faster on that. The ruler, thank you very much for dropping a little I'm sorry for when you kind of knocked us off the track there, so that's appreciated. Dropped into fifth. I think I'm worried sixth there. We would have not had the rotation on the car. We needed to get through that without picking up a penalty, going off. So there, we do not want to cut too much. All right, so an 8th, not bad for where we started, and not bad considering we got a lot of A racers here. So great job. We got Lamb Visuals in first, Pisa Gang being fast yet again in second, and we got our third, our bronze place right there. Great racing, folks. Thank you so much for making it to the channel. Don't forget, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, turn bell notifications on, and I wish you all more cars and more power. Hope you get to put the pedal to the metal on a car that you love sometime real soon. And I'm going to be closing up the lobby, but I'll see you next Saturday at 10 a.m. when we open up this lobby again, and look forward to racing you. Peace gang saying thanks for the race. Nice to meet you. Really nice meeting you too, mate. Take care, friends. Super Doofus, don't worry about it. This was practice so that we can do the Manufacturers Cup and have it be our day there. Let's pick up some wins for the JCCR racing team, folks. Thank you so much for watching. Yeah, love it up here. We got first JCCR Philness GT up there. Take care, folks. Blessed to have you. Godspeed, everybody.